My name is Osnat. Thank you, Ifat, for inviting me and to talk with you and to introduce myself and my artwork. I'm a photographer. I live in Tel Aviv. I'm a mother as well. I have 3 children. And my photographs are mostly in a genre that call still life. I'm touching the everyday things of life, like everyone has it in his kitchen or is in his home, like fruits and vegetables. Sometimes it's glasses and more things. In fact,
Wait.
okay, yeah. So a few years ago, don't put it now. In fact, it's okay. Okay. We'll start with this, and
It goes automatically for some reason, sorry.
so a few years ago, I had an exhibition in Paris, a small one, with this part of my work. It was very interesting experience for me, and I feel like I have more connection with Paris now and with French. And I want to start with the first, with this. So this is my photo, but I don't know if you know a bit the painter Chardin. It's a painting that I made after Chardin, like humanity for him. And I took this photo in a very big camera. You see, it was 1993. It's almost 30 years from now. And I was trying to follow Chardin picture. And I was very surprised to find that those tools in Apple didn't change in all these years. It was very easy for me to find Apple like Chardin had 200 years ago, and the same tools. And I felt very close to the time that Chardin made this painting. And I felt like even though the world is so changed all the time, something in this humanity is still here, and it past all it's like it's endless time, this work. And I really like it, so I took a photo like his painting, and we see it now. And in fact, you can move the picture now.
Right.
No, it's in the same yeah, just move it to the other one, another, yeah. So this is about, you see, 30 years after. This is my photography. I took it my home, and I try to continue this feeling of home, of humanity, something that continue with us, even though the time has moved. And it's make me close to the basic of humanity, this kind of work. I talk about home. I always take my photo at home. And other things that I work with, it's the daylight, the light that came from the sun. It's not flash, it's not another light, it's just listening to the daylight. And it's very strange that, not strange, it's very interesting that our talking today is close to the Christmas and Hanukkah, and both holidays are connected to the light. And I think Chardin and me too are talking with the light from the darkness. It's like there is a big darkness around, and we are looking for the sounds of the light, like a tone of music. So you can move, continue running the.
Yeah, for some reason I have to open it every time.
Wow.
Let me,
יש הרבה.
I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. This is again another work of mine that called Still Life with the Battle. I think here there is another thing that come into the work that I'm talking about longing. Longing for something that I'm not even sure what longing is coming here, but there is longing for something that I think it's built in our heart. To miss something that we don't know all the time what we miss for. But this logging is something that came out in my work, and you can move. We'll see another.
So I will try to show few one after the other because it gets stuck. If I stop, I think it will let me. If I won't stop, let's see.
Okay. Those eggs really come from the darkness, like a small light that I try to talk to with these eggs that show the light. And it's the same logging of something missing from the one hand, and from the other hand, it's very simple everyday things that I like to see them something else, something that I can feel or make me think of things that are not from the reality. They are coming from reality, but they make me feel something that I couldn't feel or think about if I didn't make this work, and like a meditation somehow. Okay, you can move.
Every time.
Yeah, very פשוט. Yes, you can continue. Can you go to the other one with the blue window? Go back. Yeah. This work I call the blue window. It's work that I made with the window I work with. Is a blue window, and he get to the work itself, and I think this work I have the inside, but also the outside, and it's something else that come to the work. Not only the inside of me, with it, the outside of the world. That the light is it's a symbol of the outside. But I think the lights become like a symbol of life for me. Life that touch the things and make them alive. It's not just the fruit, it's more that the symbolize that they make. And the light are make it shining or brightness. Okay, I want to say something about the last work we saw. In October, no, in September 2023, I got an invitation from Kibbutz Be'eri. They had a beautiful gallery there. Go back, it's to her. You can leave it here, leave it with this. Okay, you can leave it. So Kibbutz Be'eri, it's very close to Gaza. It's a beautiful kibbutz. It was a beautiful kibbutz.
Then is not someone is not muted.
Okay. So Kibbutz Be'eri is one of the biggest and beautiful kibbutz in Israel. It has a border really next to Gaza, And they had a beautiful gallery there. It's called the Be'eri Gallery. And during the 2023, I got invitation from the manager of this gallery, a girl called Sophie Berzon Makai, to show my work there. And in September, we opened a big exhibition there, solo exhibition, that called Shadow of a Passing Bird. Shadow of a Passing Bird. It was in September, just before Sukkot holiday. And the exhibition was dealing with something very temporary, something that we can't touch, like a shadow of a bird. And we had this opening in September. You can show now in what I sent you in WhatsApp, the gallery. The gallery, just live here in this picture. That's how the gallery looked. It was the first dining room of this kibbutz, and they left the building of the dining room and make the gallery there. And a lot of artists from Israel came to introduce their work there, and me too. And unfortunately, my work was standing there in 7th of October. It was the last week of the exhibition, and the 7th of October, the terrorists came to Be'eri, and they make terrible things there. You probably know they hurt people and killed a lot of human beings. And in the same time, they not light, פתי, איך אומרים שרפו? Burn, yeah, and burn a lot of building. One of them was the gallery. So the gallery destroyed totally with my exhibition. And my exhibition was the last exhibition in that gallery. And that's how the gallery was looking after the 7th of October. I think one of the person from the kibbutz, one of the member of the kibbutz, came back a few days after, and that's what he saw from the gallery. Of course, it was very cool, and a lot of people here in Israel want to do something to make us feel a bit hope. And after in the newspaper, they wrote about the gallery, the story of the gallery, museum of in Israel that's called Yan Kodade Museum. Yeah, show you can leave it. This picture was taken 2 weeks before the 7th of October. It was a gallery talk. We had a lot of people in this gallery talk. Part of them from Kibbutz Be'eri, and part of them come from Tel Aviv or from the north. There were a lot of people coming to this gallery. She was very interesting. She brought interesting artists especially for the south. And it was Shabbat. We were sitting here and talking about how life is temporary and how life is unexpected, but nobody can thought in his worst thinking, in his worst thoughts, that something so terrible can happen 2 weeks after. So a museum in Israel that you can close it, museum in Israel that's called the Museum Yan Kodade Museum, invite us, lucky us that it was a photography, and we can, you can show it, yeah. This is the first, that's how look the gallery from the outside in the kibbutz. I took this small video in the same day that we put the the work on the wall, and we were so happy that we finished hanging it. And yeah, okay, you can close it. Thank you, Ifat. So I think after 2 weeks or something like that, we got the invitation to make again the exhibition in Yanko Dada Museum. It's in a place in the north that artist village that called Ein Hod, and we make all the works again. So I show you some of the works here. Yeah, this one was in this exhibition, and you can move a bit. And I want to tell you something about this photo, about this work of the eggplant. I think it was about, well, one year after the 7th of October, and the people want to, איך אומרים תרומה?
They wanted to donate?
Donate for the family of the hostages, and they organized the exhibition for it. And I gave this work for the donate. And one girl was very close. She came. I didn't knew her. This girl. She was very close to this work, and she stopped and looking about, I don't know, half an hour, and then she started to cry. I didn't know her. I asked her. I told her I'm the artist, and I asked her why she crying. And she told me that she is a sister of a hostages that was in the same time at Gaza. And when she see this work, she's thinking about him, and she wants to cover him like this textile that covered the eggplant. And she couldn't move from this work, and she was really, really crying. And she said, I have very, very weak heart, and I'm trying not to cry. And now it's so funny that I'm crying from a eggplant. But it was very sad moments for me to see her like this, and to hear that this textile is reminder the touch that she wants to touch her brother, but is not there, is in Gaza for 1 year. And we hug each other. Then she took my telephone, and we say goodbye. It was late at night, and in morning, suddenly in 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a telephone. I got a telephone from her. I see her name in my telephone, and I thought maybe she wants to sell. She want to tell me that she sell this work for the hostages, but she says that few hours after she saw this work, she got a telephone that she has to go to a place with her parents to meet people from the army, and they tell her that her brother, they found her brother, he wasn't alive, and they brought him at the same night to Israel. She didn't saw him 1 year, and I don't know what catch her with this work, and I think one day after, he was here in Israel, but well, this is one of the sad stories that I was with contact with it. And in Sunday, all this story was in the weekend, and in Saturday, they bury him. And she asked me to bring her this work, and she put the work. I brought her a small copy of the work, and she put the small copy with her brother when she buried him. So I think it was one of the sad moments that I felt in this crazy, unbelievable 2 years that we pass here in Israel. But it was very hard and very sad, and I couldn't carry it from the one hand, but from the other hand, I understand that art has power, and art can talk. And even though sometimes I feel that I don't have a voice myself to yell so strong this awful war, but suddenly I felt that I have a voice, and my voice is the art and my photography that talk about something that I think everyone wants. It's to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel home. Okay, Fatih, you can move there. All this work, yeah, was in Be'eri Gallery, so you can continue. Then they move to Jan Kodadia Museum. This photo I took in the Corona time, and I was so surprised that this animal, praying mantis, came to my house, and I put him on these flowers. It's artichoke flower, and I felt they are so connected together. So it's something that the Corona time, I think, made me very sensitive for every small bits in my home. In my home. So okay, you can move. This is a work that we see here. It's self-portrait of myself with still life. You see me standing at the mirror, and this series of work is always started in the Corona time as well, and when I couldn't get out of my home, and I felt I want to touch things, so I think it makes something that make me feel like I'm touching things. I'm a mother. I have a baby in my hand. Oh, you can think about more context with this work. Okay, you can move. This series of self-portrait in the mirror continue with the other period of my life. In this self-portrait, I'm wearing my mother dress. After she died, it was a very hard period for me, and I make some self-portrait with her dress and clothes. So one of them is this work. You can move it. And from this series, I'm showing you self-portraits that I made after the war. It's one of the first works that I made after the 7th of October. It's called Lemon in a Wartime. My neighbor is not a young person, and a few days after the 7th of October, he went to the kibbutz next to Gaza and helped them work in the trees and he brought these lemons with him from the from the south, and I felt like this bag is like איך אומרים תחבושת? Is cover them like יפעת, איך אומרים תחבושת?
Mm,
It's like יודעת את המילה?
It's like how do you say when you wrap something when you have a wound? So you wrap it with
Bandage.
like a bandage, yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like I see this lemon in a different way. It's not the same eye that I was before. And I took these lemons that came straight from the south. I put it them on my table, and I took this photo. That after I got a call from Artur Asabag. He was trying to do some work with Israeli artists, and his collection of artwork that made after the war. So this work has he bought it after the war, and it now belong to Artur and to his collection. And 1 year after, he made a very big exhibition in the Tel Aviv Museum, and this work was there in the exhibition. I'm sorry for my English. I'm so exciting, so it's a bit hard for me. Those two works I made in January 2024. I told you that my exhibition at the Be'eri Gallery called the Shadow of a Passing Bird, and we call this name because the temporary of the shadow of the birds. And after the war began, I felt like I want to look about the bird, because bird is the life, and shadow, I can't look at the shadow in a awful time of the war. So I try to think, how can I work with a bird, with a living bird. And it took me a long of time to create this photo. It's not AI, it's real bird that we invite to this set. And there is a lot of symbol from the war here in the exhibition, in those two works. I want to tell you that after a few months that we make the exhibition review again in the Yanko Dadia Museum, we get an invitation from Düsseldorf, from the Parliament of Düsseldorf. They want to invite us to show the exhibition that burned from Be'eri in their beautiful building in the Parliament House. And I put, with the work in Be'eri, I brought these two works with us from Israel. And okay, you can move. And this is the living birds, but in very awful day, I walked in my streets next to my home, and I saw this bird. It wasn't alive. It was very hard day, the day that I saw this bird, and I saw her color. I thought it's like Israeli דגל, איך אומרים?
Flag.
Yes, the colors of Israeli flag. I don't think that ever in my life I can take a picture of a dead bird, but it was so poetic and said together, so I did it. And this work came to the exhibition in Stockholm after after a few months. All the work from Germany in Stockholm, in Düsseldorf, the embassy of Sweden moved the exhibition to Stockholm, and that was the new work that I brought from Israel with me. So I think the war is very influenced me in even though I still work in a genre of still life, but you really can see the difference and how the works are showing my soul. This book is a series that's called 11 books. It's historical books. And during the last year, I was taking photo only of them. It's like I couldn't photo things that makes me life, like fruits or vegetables. Or so I work only with these books, like a block of building. I try to build something to make a new organize. Um, but if you can see the other work, you can move it. Uh, yeah, this work. I couldn't make something in order, and they fell and they broken, and that's how I felt in these days. Um, you can move the other. We are getting to the end. Uh, that one I make in the time that the hostages were in Gaza. I work with a Spanish painting, and I think this face of this person that I don't know, I don't remember the year that the painting that the painter painted, but I think it's 500 years ago. And I call this work the face of war. And I thought about the hostages there and their face and how we are looking, how the face of war are looking our face, and the fear and the horror. And so this is the, okay, you can move. Of course, it's with the contrast of these fruits. And this is the last work that I made. Actually, I made it yesterday, and I wanted to put it because I felt here that something happened. It's not, I'm not the same person, but something is more stable. And if you show the last one, the last paint photo, you can, yeah, this one. I put here one photo that I made a few years ago, but I took photo of beans, and I call it script. And I think that's something that I'm trying to see in life, from the ordinary things to see something different. And I try to write something that nobody read it, but maybe we can feel it everywhere. It's like a new language from these beans. So if I want to be to bring some optimist or optimistic way to see things, I really hope that we can see a new things, a new um, in this terrible situation that we are in. Okay.
Amazing, Osnat. You say that you don't speak English well, but you made it over half an hour speaking about in English. So well done, well done. And the work looks amazing. And thank you so much for telling your story. And usually we're gonna go to Q&A now, but I just wanna hop in and ask one question. Did you feel a difference in the way that your work was presented outside of Israel before and after the war?
Yes, yes, there is a yes. I think before the war, I was Israeli outside, but I was a photographer, I was an artist, I was a person, I was the and after the war, well, I had three exhibitions in Europe after the war, two in Germany and one in Sweden. And suddenly I wasn't just a regular person or artist. I was the Israeli. And I talk something that I think people wants to hear. I think people wants to hear. I think because my work is not politic. Um, So even not Israeli or Jewish, they felt they felt something with the work and they connect me. But I wasn't, I was like embassy of Israel. היה לי תפקיד, איך אומרים? I came with
nerves.
Like you had a role, you weren't a private person anymore.
yeah. And
Okay, yeah.
well, in Sweden, I had a very nice experience because the embassy that invite me to make this exhibition there, she has to hide that I'm in Israeli. They were a bit afraid, and so on in the newspaper and everything, they didn't tell that I'm from Israel, and the embassy invite me. But in the opening day, we had a visitor that came from a very important Sweden newspaper, and I didn't knew her, but she was listening and see the exhibition. And after the embassy told me that this writer came from this newspaper, and they don't know what she will write about it. And after 2 or 3 days, we get Mamar. It was published, and she writes very nice about, and she wanted to say something about the work that was hurt in the exhibition in the Be'eri. So she just wrote a very small sentence about it, and then she wrote about the work, and it's made me very happy because I felt like I'm coming. She gave me the credit to be an artist, not an artist from Israel, artist that hurt in the war, and for me it was very merape. It was very it was a good feeling for me. But I know that now all the work from the exhibition are still in Sweden, and we are looking for a new address to move them. And it's not easy anymore after 1 year. It's hard for us to find place that's willing now to show Israeli artists. It's not easy like 1 year ago. Something changed, and I hope we'll find a new place.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Guys, questions? Please raise your yellow hand. Go ahead, Norman.
Yeah, when you started, you spoke about the distance between the tangible and the intangible. Do you feel that as your works progressed, that you brought those two, that you kind of bridged that gap somewhat? Because I noticed that you have your reflection, your self-portrait in a picture, and you have the bird in one of your pictures. Do you feel like you've kind of brought the tangible and the intangible together a little more?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. So if Fat, can you help me? I can't hear him. I'm sorry, I can't.
I just got a little,
yeah, I can hear you very well. So if you can
I got
try
a little closer. I got a little closer to the mic. When you started your talk, you spoke about really the kind of distance between the tangible and the intangible.
Mhm.
And as you've shown the photographs going through, you've kind of you're showing things that are a little bit more tangible. For instance, your reflection behind a photograph, and you have the bird in a photograph, and the books especially. Actually, do you feel that you have brought the tangible and the intangible a little closer together? You've kind of bridged that gap a little.
אוקיי. יפעת, אני צריכה את עזרתך כי אני...
ממשי ולא ממשי. האם את חושבת שעם העבודה שלך שהיא מתקדמת, את מחברת בין הממשי ללא ממשי? הייתה לו הרגשה שבהתחלה אמרת שזה מאוד רחוק. כאילו שהעבודה שלך לא עוסקת כל כך בממשי באיזשהו אופן. לא יודעת למה הוא הבין את זה. אבל זו שאלה מאוד פתוחה, אז את יכולה ממש לענות איך שבא לך.
Well, I think there is something is going on when you are walking. You can't you can't feel it until you do it. So I think in the first work that I show here, it was very simple with the things themselves. Something that really from the everyday life, but well, now I can see from a bit distance that there is a lot of symbolize inside it, that I can feel it now after the years moving, but I think that the most important me to see after the years that the situation are really impact my work. Well, it starts with the corona, after, of course, the war, after the war finish, the feeling of my work, there is time that I couldn't even work at all. I think in the best, in the worst days, I couldn't, it's like something turned off in my eyes and the world wasn't shining anymore for me. So now it's, if you can see in the last photograph that I put here, that I made yesterday, it's like a small light after the darkness that I can, maybe because the war is, I hope it stops, I hope all the hostages will be home, and it impacts me from the inside. And well, I don't know if I answer your questions, but I try.
Thank you.
Okay.
Iris, did you want to ask? Because I thought you were muted and you were talking.
No, I was adding what I thought her word meant, but I was wrong anyway. I'm just curious, Osnat, where do you actually live? Did you live in Be'eri or somewhere else?
No, I live with my family in Tel Aviv.
Oh,
I work
okay.
in Tel Aviv, and I just exhibit my work there in Be'eri, but I'm not from there. But I was a long time there before, because of the exhibition. I slept there a few times before. I worked with the people there.
Right. The work is beautiful. Very, very restrained and simple, but very speaks very well.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Iris. Go ahead.
I have a question about the photo with the man in the paper. I would like to hear more about kind of the thought process behind that, because it's a very
Which one?
with the man in the newspaper and the apples kind of in the
In the end of
yeah.
with the man, the face of the man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tried to work. Well, I don't know. I really had some process with book lately. It's begin, I think, I can see it in a few works before, few years before, but something very strong with books. I didn't tell you, but in Be'eri, they made me a artist book. I tried to show it to you. Maybe you can see with this. Well, they print me an artist book that came out from the printer just a few days before the 7th of October, and all my books were burned. And well, I think it was very shocked for me, more than the work themselves, because to burn book, a lot of connotation, very bad connotation from the Holocaust, or I don't know. It's like I think when a person burn a book, it's like he wants to burn your spirit or something, your soul. So I took it very hard, the burn of the books, not my books, to burn books and so I I feel more close to books, and this book is from a Spanish painter. If I have more time, but I didn't bring, I have more works from these works that connected with a very old painting of a pure Spanish painter. And the face of this person, it's apart from a big painting, and the face will really catch me. It was the time of we are thinking all the time of the hostages in the caves, and I don't know, this face, this eye is willing, this soul really catch me, and I put it from something, I put next to it something that really symbolize life. Fruit is all the time, is the time, because this fruit, he has his own time. איך אומרים עונה?
Season.
It's a season. It's like to put a stamp of a season, these fruits. So I think photograph, especially more than painting, talking about time, because it's catch the time, it's catch the one moment from time, and it's because I'm working with the daylight, it's really catch the few, I don't know, 1 second from for my life. So the contrast between the fruits and the season and the life, and with this face, was so I don't know, it killed me somehow, but it gave me hope as well. So, well, it's like you לחבר ביחד, to put together the war and life, the painting and the photo, things that have a big contrast, but that's life. That's life. It's contrast. Inside of us, the hope and the sorrow, the I don't know, dead and life, painting and photography. Okay.
Horrible and wonderful.
Thank you.